Hello, we're back. We are back. We are back, and yeah, here we are. So, where did we left? Ah, yes, we left at the fact that the server was crashing, right? Server was crashing after we send the message. So, what we should do, we should just add a breakpoint, launch the server inside Visual Studio and see if we can minus service minus log. Yes, I think that is what we want. So let's launch it and we can debug what is going on. I think there is just some maybe null pointers or something, and we are launching the client. I think the client we can just launch it normally, right? Hello, whoever joined. So let's see if the server is up already. I think it should. It's still compiling now, so deleting hot reload. So you see, sometimes it's capable of deleting hot reloads. Is nice. Let me just check what kind of DLL is loading. And you see it changed it. It changed it back to the Unreal DLL after the auto reload. So yeah, there is something going on behind the scenes that is basically allowing. Yeah, okay, the client cannot connect. Why launch the editor and not the server? Why it launched the editor and not the server? Let me just check in our script. So the way we launch it is minus servers minus log, right? That is what we use to launch. So why it didn't launch it? So what I do under debugging, I added common arguments uproject minus servers minus log, right? This is what I should do. Or should I place this inside the brackets? Let me try again, but it seems that we don't want to start. Probably I have to select development server and not development editor. That's probably the reason, huh? Yes, I think so. Because you see, like this is just launching the editor, which is not what we want. Right. Okay, let's go. Let's stop this and let's go development server. All right. I want to launch the server inside Visual Studio. Usually I don't do it. Usually I just launch it outside, but I think yeah. Let's see if it starts properly. Is compiling it. It's compiling it in development server mode. All the time you have to start this stuff and compile it takes so much time. It takes more time to freaking compile than actually do the job. Let's see what it's doing. Let me just check meanwhile what we had in our guide if we had the Unreal Engine. So to start the server, so to building on Windows, I think I had few comments on how to launch. Launching the server, select the debug game editor configuration, and from the VS property my project 2 add this in the command line -servers -log. It will launch directly without going to the editor. Yeah, okay. So this is what I thought, but if I do this, is -servers -log is not working as expected. Why? Do you have an idea of why? Meanwhile, it started to recompile freaking everything under development server. Let's stop it. I don't care about this. Let's do. So I have in my guide debug game editor, right? This is what is set to select the debug game editor configuration, and then it says to select on my PS Unreal under debugging, right? Under debugging, the command line -servers -log. This is exactly what we did, but why is not working? Common arguments is this? I mean, I tried inside and outside of this, but maybe development is different. So development editor is different than debug game editor. I don't know. If you know, let me know. Okay, now it seems to be starting properly. Right? Yes. So the difference is there are a few breakpoints we don't need. The difference is that we have to use the debug game editor. So if you use development editor, it's actually not starting as we want, right? So I think I should mention this in the guide. So next time. And also from VS property, my project in PS Unreal, add this in the so PS Unreal. I think what we did, just to make it more clear, under configuration property debugging from the VS property on PS Unreal, select debugging, and then add this to the command line -7 -log. So the resulting property will be like, okay, so we are sure that, so let's copy all of this, so at least, okay, it will be like this. Select the bank gaming configuration. We can also say if you select development editor, right? Debug game editor. If you select development editor, then the editor will start instead of the server. So it's not working this way, right? So you really need to select the debug game editor setting configuration, right? Okay. I think that is. Oops, what happened? No, I lose it. Save. Okay. So we save this. So now it's starting properly. So it means that we have, yeah, we have our breakpoint waiting us to be triggered, right? Waiting, yes. So we just go here. We just go guest, and we see what we get. So we load our character, go and play, walk to the lady, and see what happens, right? So I can walk here, no problem. Then when I click on this eye icon is where the game was crashing, right? And so it is where we want to debug. So we click on this, right? We go through, the client will disconnect, but at this point we don't care because after some time it's obviously disconnecting. So let's see if we get the right value. Yeah, so me is proper, we get a crank character, so it's pretty cool. We are checking if it's self, the result should be false. Right, is it false? Why is not, why I'm not getting this? Anyway, character name is Mailenki. Mailenki? Race name is race name. Char info. I'm getting this character info and Kirukai male, Stone M, character gender male. Let me see the UID. The UID I think is 500, 500, 500, psCharacter. So these are all the stuff that is loaded from the database when we load this character. Now, which one? The question is which one is this, right? Which one is this character? It looks like it's a 500, 500, 500 character. So, do we have any? The 500 everywhere? No, we don't. So is that messed up, or because the first NPC is this one, Mailenki, right? Mailenki, yeah, I think it's this one though. Mailenki, random, yes, it's this one. I think it's this one. Just don't understand too much those 500, 500, but the name is correct. So the name is correct. Character info. I don't understand this 500 thingy. Attributes. 500, 500, 500. I don't understand what is this, but who cares? Maybe we didn't load it yet. So let's go forward. It's getting the race. The race is in Kirikai, which I think race gender 11 I think is correct. Because if we check the race info and we do a select, the one, yes, exactly, the one is an Enkirikai, so it reads the data correctly. The gender, some attributes I cannot inspect, like if they are optimized the way. Okay. Some sims I cannot actually debug. Now we got a description. Description is just description. I mean, it's not great, but it's just description. Let me see if there is a description of this character anywhere. No. Where does it get the description of the character? That's a good question. Get character description, race name, gender. Where is getting the, so let's just inspect it for a second, okay? I just want to understand. So when we load the character, Sub description, psCharacter. I don't remember actually. I have to check. Where do we get the description of the character? If it's coming from additional, maybe so from character. It should be from characters. I mean, it should be from this table, but it's not here. No, it's not here. Hey, can anyone plan shift enabled tell me where is the description of our characters? Because I don't know. I don't know where is it. It should be here somewhere, but I cannot find it. So variable skills, relationship, quest, limitation, character, faction, events, character creation, character life. Is it one of the variables? No, I don't think so. Okay. Not here. Should be here. Is here. This. Okay, this thing is not showing me all the. It's not showing me all the. Let me check. Wait. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong table. Is here. So description. Okay, this one. Maybe we can improve it a bit just to ensure that it's the right one. But yes, row number 4. Description is description, so is the correct one. Okay, so we get the right description, and so up to here the code works okay. Then it crashes down here somewhere. Okay, so this is what we have to understand. So skills. There is psCharacter return message network related skill TRA of this. Okay, this I think is correct. Then we go and check the access. It may crash here actually. It may crash on this one. Let's go inside of this just to say. No, let's not go inside of this. Let's keep it. So it's not simple. It's not check access. Okay, we check if we are self or full. If we're self or full, we are adding more stuff. So it's one of the two. I would like to know if is self. Why I cannot inspect those two variables? I cannot. A variable is optimized the way, not a variable. Fuck, why the variable is optimized? I don't want it optimized. I want it. So the bug game is not enough to get all the variables. The bug game is not enough. Okay. If self full. Anyway, we are entering here. If requester variable is optimized. So let me just search this thing for a second. If anyone has this issue with Unreal, that the variable is optimized the way. Because in theory it should be, if you are compiling, if you are compiling, so real engine variable is optimized. If anyone in the chat knows, please let me know. And not available. Why I cannot watch in real code in order to produce local variable values to just time values actually got a function. So you have to be running debug game editor and actually debugging in VS. Yes, this is what I'm doing. Debug game editor. No, it does instead of Backman as well. You're edit guide instead of recommended okay. So I'm trying to understand if okay, you can add this pragma device optimization, but they're basically saying if you are compiling in debug game editor, it should, right? It should be okay. You should see all the values. For some reason, I'm not seeing all the values. Any ideas on that? Armando, hi Armando. No, I just restarted. I restarted 10 minutes ago. I stopped for like 3 or 4 hours, and no, 2 hours and a half, and I just restarted now. So welcome back. So we managed, just to give you an update, we managed to compile all the classes, so everything is now fully ported, the pieces that I wanted to port for this, but now we are getting a crash in the server, and now debugging, trying to understand where it crashes, right? So creation info seems to be okay. Get character creation info, which is empty because it's an NPC, so I think it's correct. If creation info equals 0, okay. Then we have here a character data, get faction events description. I don't know exactly what this does. So let's try to go in because I think that it may be the one crashing. Get faction events description. So is iterating on the faction standing of this character. I don't think this character has any faction standing at all. Faction standing, let me check. Does he has any? Name empty, description empty. No, all of this is empty. So if standing score greater than 0, why goes into this? Standing score is 30, so he actually has a faction. Orcs. He has a faction orcs, so he has it. He actually has it. Let me check in the database if it's correct though, because character faction. So this character is character number 4. So if we check character factions for number 4, oh yes, he has faction 130, so it's correct. Okay, so he's properly reading the factions. Then here, what he's doing is you fix me. Needs to read in reverse for some reason. Check if this is correct. Okay, so I did a conversion of this code, but you see this UFX me, I was not completely sure it was working. So yeah, but you know, when you're working on something that you like, you don't burn out too much. But yeah, when you are working on code like now, which is code, yes, you can burn out quickly. But we did some graphical stuff. I mean, we have seen some pixels at least. Not much, but we did a bit. So let's check if this code is correct. So it's taking the standing, faction, positive event, number, which I don't know exactly what is this, but it's basically an array of events. And it says orcs sympathize with you, orcs loved you. Okay. So these are the two events that happened in this faction that made this character go in a good mood with orcs. So it's doing this, then is checking if I is minor than the total, and then it's doing I minus minus, and then it's going through this. So let's see what happens. I have the feeling some of this is optimized because I cannot Peter plus plus. Oh god. Return the faction description. It didn't work at all. I mean, it just skipped it. It just skipped this. So I think score is minus 30. I think it was 30. It looks 30 to me, not minus 30. Standing score. I think there's something in this piece of code is fucked up. It's really fucked up. Faction description comes out empty. Merchants. Wait a second. Maybe we have more than one. Ah, yes, yes, yes. We have more than one. We have two. We have 4 130, 4 2 minus 30. So one on the orcs, one on the merchants. So yes, I think it's correct. So the problem is that it's not adding any to the description. So I think the 4 cycle is fucked up. So what does it do? Can we do it again? I would like to do it again. Can I just move this up and do it again? I hope I can. I hope you're not getting too upset with me. Okay, let's try to do it again. So it's getting an iterate. Okay, it's getting upset with me. No, I cannot do it. Cannot do it, but it's fuck it up here somewhere. I think this 4 is wrong. So it's assigning E to the number of events, and in this case we had 2 events, right? Then is doing I minus the total. It cannot be minus. It cannot be minor. I mean, it will always be this. What? What was the original code? I think here we are fucking up something, right? I think we fucked up something. We removed the equal or minor or something. I think we removed an equal sign. I think we removed an equal sign somewhere. Where are we? We are in psCharacter, and we are inside get faction event description, exactly here. We completely changed the code, that's why. The code here was an iterator. Wait a second. Iter value, standing score, score, standing score. Then we had another iterator. Yeah, we changed the code pretty dramatically here. Changed the code pretty dramatically, unfortunately. Faction live event. Why I did it this way and I didn't do it with an iterator? Because I think I couldn't do it. I think I can. No? I think I can. Why? Faction maybe. Sorry. Maybe it was one of the first things that I ported, and I didn't port it properly. But you see that here we are using the iterator at the top, which seems to be okay. But then inside of this, TRA faction life events, you say faction reverse score iterator, standing faction, get reverse. Ah, because it was a reverse iterator and I didn't have the reverse. That's why. That's why. Okay, anyway, I think this here is missing a minus or equal, because otherwise this will never work, right? I mean, while this is minus or equal, no, sorry, but we have to stop it when it's 0. So if we do like this, it would be an infinite loop, right? So I think we should do, if this is greater than 0, then we go down at every cycle. Yeah, I think that's it. We go down at every cycle and we fill in the description, right? Yeah, I think so. I don't know why it was that way. The only thing I would like to know is why some variables I cannot see. Now let's stop this, because anyway it crashed because I wanted to. Right, I did it the wrong way. But why some variables are not optimized the way? Some variables are optimized the way. I don't know why. Like I cannot read all the variables. I cannot read a few. Okay, I think the server is up now. It says loaded NPC, so we can connect with our client. I think I misspelled the password. Yes, I'm loading in. Selecting my crank character, logging in. Going to the lady and clicking on the freaking eye icon, right? So we can have 5 because we have another breakpoint. So like is self, you see this variable is self. It says that it's optimized away. Or full. Full says it's optimized away. Why it says this? I want to debug it. Anyway, we can print it out maybe. So let's do again the faction description, right? Where was it? The get faction event description. So it's this one. Get faction event description. The breakpoint is not currently be hit. This is different from the original version. What? We compiled it. What does it mean? We compiled it, bro. Okay. Let's try to go through. The source code is different. The source code is different from when the module was built. What the fuck is this thing? Sorry, I'm a bit confused, but why saying that the source code is if I just press F5 and he compiled it and is up to date to succeed it. I think this freaking engine is still fucking with me when he's adding this temporary DLL somewhere and he's doing stuff with these DLLs. I think that's the problem. So I think we have a problem here. There are these DLLs like 6348, which is a like in hot reload DLL, which was created by someone. You see he's using it. 6348 is using it because I cannot delete it. So he's using this one. Why is using this one? Why? Tell me why. Why is using this? When here I have this. Sometimes this engine surprises me. I don't know. Maybe I'm too stupid to understand. But so let's stop the client. So the client is using it. The client is using this DLL here because now let's see. But now I think I can delete it. Can you see? Now I can delete it. So I think there is a reference somewhere of the hot reload that we did before. And so if I go build, does it write it again? I don't think so. It doesn't. Okay. But so what time is it now? 23:15. It didn't recompile. It didn't recompile this one. It recompiled only this one. I don't know what is in this thing. I have no idea. This is what is confusing me, you know. I'm always confused about these two DLLs. If I run it now, I mean, it sounds like it's still using another DLL. I mean, it cannot use that one because maybe he has a logic that if he finds one with a number, he overrides the other one. Maybe he has a logic like this. Could be. It's possible. I will have to ask this to someone that knows Unreal Engine good, because it's to me seems that we are okay. So I'm launching again the client. Let me see if now it's telling me that the well, I can do it quickly. If I go here and I put a breakpoint, it's saying the same. The breakpoint will not currently. The source code is different from the original version. I don't know. Do you have an idea why it's saying this? Why this freaking thing is saying this? It's different from the original version. I mean, I'm launching it with F5. I'm launching it with F5. So whatever I have in the editor, I'm thinking I should see it, right? I think I should see it. Let me see if someone is helping me in the Unreal Engine. Hi, I have an issue while debugging in Visual Studio. I put a breakpoint and the NVS is telling me the source code is not up to date. The source code has been changed. What is telling me exactly? It's telling me the source code is different from the original version. The source code is different from the original version. But I started with F5 and it compiles it. So how can it be different? I don't know. I'm asking in a Unreal Engine chat. Maybe someone will help me, but it's very weird that I get this. Right? The source code is different from the original version. What the fuck does it mean? If I'm launching it from here. So some of my intermediate file maybe went I don't know, it's causing the issue, but I can clean it and rebuild it, but I would like to avoid it if it's possible. Debug game. I'm trying to check here in the directory. So the bug game. So we are inside Win60 intermediate build Win64 Unreal Engine debug game, right? This is pretty old. So it's today at 7. So for sure it's not here. I think this looks more like the other DLL. That is the bug game. Then we have this is PS Unreal, and then we have EU editor, the bug game. This also seems old. Is the no? This one is now. This one is now. It's 2311, which is now. PS Unreal. These are all the modules that have been compiled, but I mean, how it can be different? How we can say that it's different? Anyone has an idea? No. Why you have to waste time on stuff that doesn't makes me go forward? So psCharacter. This class is under bulk object psCharacter in our source code directory. Okay, so cannot be. I mean, it cannot be wrong. I mean, it's here for sure. So it's here. psCharacter, right? psCharacter is this class, right? The differences that we have compared to the previous class is that we changed this line, right? We just changed this line, we made it different. Okay, now this is server side, so I'm launching the server here, and can I see what DLL is loading? What freaking, can I have the list of all the DLLs that have been loaded by this thing? Do I have them here in the output? I think I have them here, right? Because if I can find which is the freaking DLL that is loading, maybe it's pointing somewhere else. These are all the DLLs, yes, I think so. I think I have it in my log file, right? I have it here. PS Unreal log. Let me check the time. Is 02 18 22 16. Yeah. So it was this one. It was this one. So do I see the DLLs? No. I see them only in the. I don't see them here. I see them only in this window. But it's okay. I can copy this window. I can copy this part, put it here, new file, put it here. So for some reason, okay, is loading the core stuff from the directory where I have the main engine. All right. All of it is there. Then it's loading a bunch of stuff from Windows. Okay, who cares? Then it's loading more stuff from the editor. That is the main Unreal Engine editor directory. Then, so here we are. So here is where we should have audio property, but I don't see online installer. I don't see any of the ones. I don't see our DLL though. So why is not loading it? Because it's just running it runtime, huh? Like for example this one, PS Unreal. The PS Unreal direct. Yeah, it's not here obviously. It's not loading this. It's not loading this. So let me search PS Unreal here. Running engine for game PS Unreal. No, it's not loading any of those DLLs, so it should run directly. Why is freaking telling me that? I need a smart guy to join and help me, because it's something. Is when I think this mess happened when I switched to development editor and I recompiled with development editor, and so it probably created other directories. So but psCharacter. So let me stop this, because anyway this is not what we want to run. The client will just time out, but it's okay. So if I have my psCharacter here, right, and I compile this thing, PS Unreal. I mean, why it does? Okay, let's try one thing. Let's try to regenerate the thing is PS Unreal U project generate Visual Studio project files. Okay, so let's just regenerate this and reopen this SLN. No. Okay. Whoever joined now, welcome to the stream. I'm facing a kind of a weird problem here when I'm compiling and I'm launching the debug, because for some reason it's telling me that my sources are not up to date, are not current, and so I cannot debug some of the stuff, which is very weird. This is very weird. I just changed one source file in the editor, recompiled, launched the debug, and it's telling me that that file is not up to date. I mean, cannot debug it, cannot place a breakpoint because the source code is different from the original version. I mean, what is this? I mean, why is saying that? I have the client running. I think I should quit it because I may lock some of the files. Okay, 3 succeeded, 1 up to date. Okay, so we launch this thing. Wait a second, before launching it, if I place a breakpoint here, right? If I place a breakpoint, I have a few breakpoints, right? I have one here and one here. Send character description, right? And then I have another one which is inside get faction events description. Which is inside psCharacter, inside psCharacter. So this is the one that we were having trouble. Now seems okay. Oh. Man, I'm a bit confused sometimes. I don't know why I had to regenerate the project files and launch the computer. Now see, it's doing it again. Symbols have not been loaded. Oh no, okay. Maybe it loads the symbol now. It just takes a bit to load the symbol, and then the breakpoint goes into red state again. Everyone that joined, if you want to say hi in the chat, I will be happy. So I know you're there. So I started the server. Look at this. The breakpoint will not currently be hit. The source code is different from the original version. Location. The source code is different from the original version. What the hell? The breakpoint will be the source code is different from the original version. So what the hell is this? I've just opened up the solution or made any changes to the code. It can be the original version. Recompile, build the project before adding the breakpoint. I mean, I recompiled it. I mean, I can remove this breakpoint and put it back again, but it's saying the same thing. It's saying the same thing. Right click in the project folder inside the Solution Explorer and click on and choose Clean. Build a new version of the project and breakpoint will work again. What? Clean? Clean doesn't exist. I mean, clean meaning subversion clean? What the fuck? Hello, whoever joined, people number 5. Hello. I'm having a weird issue, so if you can help me, I will be very grateful. If you uncheck the DLL project in debug and build configuration, new code will never be built. If you haven't checked the DLL project, go build configuration and we check the project with the code you're trying to debug and check the current build configuration. I'm getting this message when I'm trying to debug the code that the breakpoint will not be hit because the source code is different from the original version. So like if the source code has not been yet recompiled in the process that is running now, but I stopped the process, I recompiled and launched it again with F5. So what's the, I mean, how it can be different? How it can be different? I don't understand. I'm missing something big, I'm sure, but would you like to continue to run the last successful build? No, this is not my problem. That is not my problem. That could happen, obviously, if you. That is a good example, right? So if it says that that it doesn't compile and he asks you to run the last successful build, then yes, I understand this. This will be exactly the problem. But this is not the case. The source compiles properly. The source compiles properly. And what is this thing? Okay, let me try something. I don't know if it's correct, but I have an idea. Okay, I have an idea. Win debug game target, yes. Debug game target. So this Unreal editor module. So let me change this to this. Okay, I want to see what happens. Okay, let me change this to this. I knew it. I freaking knew it. This is what is messing me up, right? This is what is messing me up, but people don't freaking tell me. This is what is messing me up. I was sure it was this. So basically, there is a version of my DLL which is compiled by, when you click on compile in the editor, which is generating this PS Unreal editor, PS Unreal DLL, and then there is the one that I'm creating with Visual Studio, which is this one. So in this case, I add my changes in this one and not in this one. But for some reason, the UE editor modules are pointing to the other one. Why did this not change automatically for me? Why I had to do it manually? Why I had to do this manually here myself? You know what? I think that now we discovered why this freaking thing. It is very counterintuitive though. I'm missing something myself maybe, but it's very counterintuitive. So let me relaunch the client. I think that now we will be able also to debug the variables that was not able to debug before, because actually it was using the other DLL, which is compiled in development mode and not in freaking game mode, debug game mode, right? I don't know if it's correct, but it really looks like this. It really looks like this. Yeah, jumping is not exactly realistic at the moment. So I click here. You see, itself now I can read it. Itself now I can read it. So the freaking thing. Okay, let me just put this in our notes because I don't want to go through this anymore, right? So let me put this somewhere, because I think in 1 week from now maybe I will forget. You will not tell me, and we will be dead. So let me just do this. Let's put a note, whatever, in errors and recompile. I think it's fine if it's here. I mean, it's not exactly here, but I think it's fine, right? So we add a new one and we say, what was the message? The message was this one: breakpoint will not be currently hit. The source code version is different from blah 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 blah, right? So this is the message that we got. This is the message that we got. The source code is different from the original version. So what does it mean? Okay. So what we should say, look in your freaking binary, Windows 64, right? Look in your PS Unreal binary Windows 64 and check the DLLs present there. Most likely you have more than one which starts with PS Unreal. Well, actually, yes, exactly. We start with this. We start with PS Unreal, blah blah blah. One is probably, so I mean, who cares who created, but basically you should just ensure the last one compiled is then mentioned into this file, which is this editor module. So if you put the right name into that thingy, then it's okay, because then it loads the PDB, the right PDB and everything, and so you have, yes. Why you guys didn't tell me this? Why? I was getting mad about this, really mad, like, wah! You know? Mad, like, really, wah! We scared one guy, one guy completely went away. It was 5 people, now 4. 1 dead. Sorry for him. It's a pity. Okay, so let's find this thing. So, okay, I'm very happy we understood that. I want to see if self is true. I hope that is false. Okay, so this is correct. We go through this, we find our character info thingy. Okay, we found it. We go through this, we get our race, we get our gender, we get our description. Description, unfortunately, is just description, but it's okay. We go down, we try to get our skills. Full is true for whatever reason, because simple is false, that's why. So we go through this, we go through this, we go through this, we go through this, we go through this. We arrive here, the creation info at the moment is empty because it's an NPC, doesn't have any character creation info. Okay, we step in, and what do we do here? What do we do? We just iterate, we go here inside. Okay, here I'm expecting this to go to the next line, not to skip the 4. Okay, good. So E at the moment is 2 and it's going down to 0. So now we should have boom, GG, and it's time for GG. Something bad happened. Something bad happened here, guys. Something bad happened. Hey, welcome to whoever joined. I see 5 watching now. Well, it was 6 for a second, but when I played the GG, it immediately quit. New editor is triggered break. Okay. So we fucked up here somehow. Where did we fuck up? We fuck up about here. Standing. Yes. Because this should be -1. That's why. This should be -1. So it gets the -1. Then what it does, arrives at the end, it gets to 1, and so it gets the 0, then it goes up. Okay, it should be okay. Now we should be okay, I think. Can we? No, we have to recompile it. It's okay. We will redo it. Your series US fixed me. I was already aware that this probably would not be working. GG, Riccardo. GG. We are proceeding, huh? We are proceeding, my friend. We are proceeding. I mean, we are not in great shape yet, but we are definitely proceeding. Few things can stop us now. Few things. Yes, joined. Okay, I have some of our devs. They don't want to join the stream. I don't know why. They're like, I don't care that you are coding. I don't give a shit that you are coding. That's not nice. I joined. Say hello. No, I don't know. They're not joining. They're not joining. I will try to hint him again, saying, still streaming here. Still streaming here. Like, I'm still streaming. You want to join? Okay, so we have to. Did we recompile? I distracted myself a bit. Did we recompile it? We have to recompile it. Just launch again, and just see if now this doesn't crash anymore. If it doesn't crash anymore, I think we are fine. Right? I think we are fine. F5, yes. Still for watching, so no, I didn't join. Maybe we will. Okay, we're launching the server. Everything seems to be okay. Everything seems to be okay. We are positive this would work. We launch the client. Launch the client. I should move the lady closer to me, right? So I don't have to walk all the time. Even if walking a bit is nice. Next to the fountain. That is a nice sound. So like this, right? Okay, let's go. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Okay, we are here. Hello. Are you going to crash the server, Mr. Lady? Mr. Lady? No, Miss Lady. Okay, so here we go like this, like this. I think I can just have 5 because anyway I have the other breakpoint. Yes. So let's see what it does now. Now it should be fine. Okay, enters here. +1. So -1 will be 1, so it can do it. It checks the score and it checks if it's greater than. Check if the score is enough to attribute this life event. I have no idea what is this. I think we probably are cutting the life events. I don't know. But anyway, I think this works. So we are adding the faction description. Faction description is orcs loved you, which is very nice. We break. We go here. Why we break? Why we process only one of the events? I have no idea, but it is how it was the old code. So why we are processing only one live event? I have no idea. I think it's taking the bigger one. I mean, it's taking the highest maybe, yes. Maybe if you have many events, it's taking the highest one, the one with the highest score, and is just printing that out. Could be. Hello, whoever joined. Let's see, we have 6 people now, so pretty good for an unknown stream. If you want to chat and say hi, that would be cool, so I know you are there. And to do it, I think you have to register a Google account. I think, otherwise you cannot chat or log in with your existing Google account. So this is going okay. It is going okay. Then is iterating on another faction standing in case we have more than one, and I think we have because we have the merchants, right? We have the merchant thing. So yeah, so it goes here. There is a negative faction, correct, because this one is actually -30. So it goes here. Now I think here we have the same issue. e equal, yeah, this is the same fucking problem. Yeah, this code is wrong. This should be e greater than 0, and here it should be e minus 1, exactly like we have before, like we have above. So we have to recompile this, and this one takes the one we store absolute value as a positive thing to make it easier and faster to take, blah blah blah. Okay, who cares? Life event description, break, and then iterates out, and our function description now is not null anymore. Okay, I think we found the source of the crash and we fixed it. It's pretty cool. Which is actually pretty cool. So what do? We just recompile it, huh? We recompile it, we run it this way, we save it the description. Maybe this time we will not break. Okay, so I will remove the breakpoints. I will disable the breakpoints for at the moment. So disable all breakpoints. So we will just run the server as it is and see if it crashes. There may be something else. And then I think we have to populate a bit the database to see if actually cannot open include file. Yes, you are right, because this game is using it. So okay, it's starting up. It takes quite a bit. I mean, programming is not a quick thing unless you are going just to, on the visual side, putting in some pre-existing assets and just meshing together what exists already. But if you have to create like custom events like we have here, so all our custom logic coming from the database or our custom stuff, I mean, it's not just right, just takes time. It takes time. Okay, disable all the breakpoints. Boom! Yeah, it crashed. It crashed. It crashed absolutely in another place, I think, but it crashed. Let me check, where did it crash? Handle character detail request. Actually, it crashed when coming back. So I think it did the job of getting the data from. I think so. User may wait a second. Character display request interaction. It goes inside of the still it's still in this thing. Is slightly after what we just debugged. Is inside of this. Okay, what is the problem? Skill is 0. Cache manager gets skill amount. What is doing here? Description. Okay, so this is the description we were gonna get, right? So can I watch this in a normal way? Description: HP 50, HP 50, mana 100, mana 100. Yes, exactly. This is the description that we're gonna get. So seems okay up to here. Then we do this skill set, get skill set, get character data skills, and seems that this one is actually correct. We have 69 skills. These all empty. It seems to be all 0. 0, 0, XY, rank, character. No. There is something here. There is something like cost 16, cost 4, cost 16, cost 4, rank. I mean, there is something in here. Let's assume for a second it's correct. So this skill set is actually populated. Now what do we do? 4 side state skill is equal to 0. Skill cache manager gets skill amount. I want to see what is this returning. Skill info EID hash number. This is probably where it's not working, but let's say while skill is less than this, hey, whoever joined, welcome. IntelliSense, the slowest process ever. Okay, there is our team map. So I think there is the full list of skills we have in the game, which is loaded by Cache Manager. So I think yes, we need to relaunch it. Just arrive up to this point, just debug it a bit and see if this function is not working. I think this function is probably not working as expected. So let's stop it. Yeah, let's stop the client. Let's stop the server. Let's launch it again. Let's launch it again. Okay. Okay, so what's up? What's up here? 6 people watching. Whoever joined, welcome. We are trying to debug pretty nasty bug. No, it's not nasty actually. I think we will get through it quickly. But we are trying to debug basically the class that is bringing back the description of the characters from the server to the client, which is incredibly enough one of the first interaction we are doing here. So one of the first thing that goes client to server, and it's sending us information based on what is on the database and what is loaded in memory. So yes, I'm gonna go to the lady and see what happens. I click in here. Now our breakpoint will trigger. Yes, so let's analyze this for a second. So SKS seems to be fine. Skills is invalid though, huh? SKS. Oh, wait. We didn't execute this line yet. Okay, SKS now is good. He has 69 skills. He has 69 skills in this character, and this character is the lady. Then we go here, and here is where I want to go F11 because I want to go in. Wow. F11 immediately? What the fuck is now? Cache manager is now? What is now? Cache manager, unable to read memory? Is cache manager the problem? I think so, because it's the one that we cannot read. Why is cache manager fucked up? Cache manager. So we are inside user man. Ooh, I think I know. It could be that user manager had a class variable named the same, and so we are accessing that one, which is completely invalid. Could be. I hope it's that. If it's that, it's easy. User manager. Let me see. Do we have cache manager, current document. Oh yes, oh yes, it is exactly like this. So we don't need this anymore because actually we are accessing this now globally. So this cache manager can be removed. I would say also Jam, bank manager, and entity manager is not something that we are gonna manage locally anymore. The only problem is if I remove those things, we will still compile. I think we are probably getting few issues, let's say, because at the moment it's accessing a cache manager which is local to the class because it was designed this way a long time ago and it's fucking us. So it has to be changed. Do we have? Well, it's pretty easy to find. We can just search here for another cache manager. I think we are inheriting cache manager. Yeah, gem undeclared identifier. See, now it's getting a bit annoying. Gem supervisor. Do we still need to do this? We still need to do this. I don't think we should. I don't think we need to initialize the supervisor again, ever again, right? I don't think we need this at all. I don't know if there is any gem. I mean, any like bank manager because user manager we are declaring it here. Okay, gem is here, so we are inheriting. Yeah, this should be fine. Should be kind of fine. Depends. Our global cache manager is called cache manager or is lowercase. Let me check. Yes, Unreal. Our cache manager, yes, is spelled exactly like this. So it's okay. So we will get it from there. Let's see how many million errors we get. If we were using bank manager and other shit. Yeah. Okay, so if we remove them, we get. So I think we should just remove. Cache manager. The others we leave the dummies for now, right? So we leave the dummies. Yes, we leave the dummies, and we assume. Yes, I think this is the only thing we can do because otherwise I have to do so many changes in the code that I don't want to do now. So we have to do those one by one while we go through the functions, but now I don't want to. Right? No, I don't want to do it. Okay. We are recompiling this and seeing what happens. We should not get errors now, at least I think. We should not get errors. Exactly, so it succeeded. So now our cache manager should be the correct one because the cache manager is one of the classes that I ported last year and is one of the biggest ones. It is basically loading all the information from the database. So let me just check if I can increase a bit. Oh my god, this font is awful. Okay, it's a bit better. Not that I love it, but trying to use a font that you can actually cannot read. Okay, let's do this. So the server is up. Server is up. Launch the client. We will disable the breakpoint. I think it will work okay now, at least that piece. So we can just disable, what was it? I don't know, it was under user manager somewhere here. It's here. Right? Let's disable it for now, and let's see what it does. So guest, we're going in, character selection, micran, go. Okay. Boom. Okay, it crashed again. Crashed again. Let me see where it crashed. It crashed on calculate comparative differences. 2.5 and 2.6. What do you mean by 2.5 and 2.6? If you're on the stream, I can just answer you by voice. Maybe it's quicker. Pretty consistent even, but seems the stream number. Ah, okay, I understand what you mean. Is the day. If I streamed twice in a day, then you have 2 5s. Yeah, that's the problem. So it's crashing here, boys. It's crashing here. Why is crashing here? So here what it's doing is trying to compare my data with their data. So it's trying to compare the two characters, because when you right click, actually you get an indication of the strength of who you're looking at. So like if a monster is way stronger than you get a message like I don't have it here, but anyway, you get a message like yes, this creature looks extremely powerful compared to you, right? Something like this. And to do this, what we have to do? We have to check. So cache manager now is correct. You see, it's getting all our data. This is perfect. It's getting the skill amount. It's getting my skill. I think it's this get psskill di, which is fucked up. What does it do? Get skills. What is this? What is this line? Skills. Sorry, but why we are doing it this way? If my character skills is already returning a skill set, right? Can I get inside that skill set? I have to do get. Is the only way? Okay. Why we didn't just okay. I should not complain about my own code. Calculates my best skill. Get. So this get is not working somehow. I don't know if it's crashing in this line or in that other line. So it's pretty empty though. This one is completely empty. This my skill is not loaded properly. Looks like it's not loaded properly. My character data skills get ps skill ei. I will let you know. So I we know is 0. If I cast this to ps skill, what is the result? Can I do it here? I don't think so. It's still 0. Okay. So if I get, I don't know if it's 0 based or 1 based. Can I re-execute this thing? It'd be pretty cool if I could. Can I do F11 here? Nice. So I'm inside as the get. Wow, the skill is 9 something. Really? No, the skill is 0. Okay. The skill is 0 is doing a check if skill is greater than 0 and skill is lower than the total skill amount, which I think is perfect. So the check will succeed. Then it goes here. It checks if allow practice without training is enabled. Always return the actual knowledge to be equal to the cost. Wow, there's a lot of thinking behind this thing. So cash manager progression requires training and skill management and skill. I don't know. I don't want to think what is this. I assume that it's just working okay. And then we return skills 0, right? Which has the info all fucked up. I don't know why, but anyways, the info all fucked up. But the skill we actually return. We return the first skill set, the first skill in the list. The problem is that when we go here and try to access info, info is completely fucked up, right? Info is completely fucked up. So the question we have to ask ourselves is, sure, you can ask a question. Sure. Welcome to the stream. You can ask as many questions as you want. So I think so. We just have to check if is when we are loading the info or not. Yes, listen to me, boy. Listen to me. Yeah, this code is. I mean, I don't know every line of this code. So consider we have millions of lines of code, millions, and I'm not saying millions just because I want to say big number. Right? I'm saying millions because we have millions. So, but we have ported already quite a good number. But so the point here is that when we are loading skills, we are probably not loading properly this info thingy. Okay, so we have, and it is coming from cache manager or is coming from my character. Good question. No idea. It may be coming. It may be coming from skill manager because it is actually get skills, right? We have seen right, it was coming from cache manager. Yes. So when are the skills loaded into the database and why they get so bad? Let's try cache manager skills, but these are actually the skills inside psCharacter, huh? Yes, these are the skills that are loaded when the characters get created, I think. So in memory, I mean. So we need to search whenever no, skill info. That is not very easy to find because this class is super big, but we have. Do you know how to use NVIDIA GameWorks Flex with EU4? No, I'm sorry, I don't. But what you can do, you can do two things. You can connect to the IRC channel of Unreal Engine, or you can connect to the Discord channel of Unreal Engine. Maybe there is some people that knows that. maybe there is some people that know how to do that. I didn't use it, so if you want to know what we are doing here, we are trying to convert an old MMO that we built with a lot of love during the years to Unreal Engine, because our old engine is basically not, it's too old. So how do we get the skill set? How do we set skill set training, get skill info, set skill info? I think it's here somewhere, right? It's set skill info. So this one is loading. Yes, I think what we should do, we should put a debug here. Try to see when we load in, if we are loading this properly or not. Okay, let's do this. Let's stop everything and let's restart it. Let's restart it. I think that is called whenever a new character gets added to the game, like when the Dermorian lady is loaded. I think this should be triggered. Let's see. Yes, exactly. You see, I just launched the server. I think that now it's trying to load in the NPC. And let me see where it's coming from. Load skills, load NPC. Yes, it is loading in all the NPCs. And we are loading in the skills of the particular NPC that we got from the database. Yes. So we are good up to here, and then here we are loading the skills. Let me put a breakpoint here. Skill result. So let's see if we already have bad data at this level, because it's possible that we already have bad data here. I cannot read this thing. Skill result. Select star from character skill where character ID equal to something. What is this unbox? 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 Alright. So science D Z equal to 0, Z cache manager skill amount. Interesting. Yeah, we don't have a lot of comments in this piece of the code. We usually have good comments here and there. I mean, in our code, I think our code is well commented, but here we don't have much. So I have to reread back this thing and understand what it does. So it's basically cycling on all the skills. This cache manager gets skill amount is basically getting the total number of skills in the game. Okay, he's cycling and then is setting the skill info for each one, where Z is the skill. Cache manager gets killed by ID, is getting the skill itself, and then it's getting false. Okay, so entering here, what does it do? This info looks cool though. I mean, looks okay. You see, names, word, practice 80, mental 80, so it seems correct. The price, the cost, so it seems correct. Info equal info. So Ori gets fucked up when it goes back, because we are assigning a pointer, and this pointer gets destroyed when it gets out of this, which may be the case. So here we are assigning it properly. So we are skills 0. Let's see, skill 0 info. You see, it's pretty cool. He has all the information loaded properly. So we can skip this, skip this, skip this, skip this. Let me see now that we are out of there if our info is completely fucked up. No, it's still good. It's still good. So up to here we are fine. There is something else that is fucking up our skills. Info is knives and daggers. Knives and daggers is correct. So this skill is also okay. Info, these are all okay. So it seems he loads the skills fine. Then something happens later on. Something happens later on, and our info skills gets corrupted somehow. Why is this? Hello, whoever joined, welcome to the stream. We are trying to understand why some of the skills are not loaded properly in the server side of the game. Some of the skills are not getting loaded as we want. They seems to have garbage information associated, so I don't think I need this. Let's just get out of here and let's try to skip to here. Okay, let's see if at the end of the loading the info is still valid. Yeah, it's still valid. Seems okay. Yes, all the info is proper here. All the information is proper. So it seems that it's loaded correctly in this character. I don't know what is the name of this character, but is one, I think it's the lady. Yeah, it's the Dermorian character. Yes, it's the lady. So I think it's getting, so at least it's is loaded properly here, right? Up to the end of this function, the info is still valid. Up to this function is still valid. Then I don't know if it gets fucked up. I mean, it gets fucked up later, but let's see if it is still valid here. Okay, so we have our 69 skills. Our info is still valid. Yeah, info is perfect. Info is perfect. Why it gets corrupted later? I don't know. Recalculate, get it point, set it point. So there is the character. Yeah, so let's try to go at the end of this function because this function is pretty big actually. It's doing a lot of stuff, as you can see. It's loading the whole character, so there's a million things. Let's go here. Let's do a 5. Let's see if here we are still with a reasonable info. Yes, the info is still okay. So we are not destroying it. Here is fine. It is totally fine. So why then later on? So I can go out of this, and here basically we loaded the character. Let me just check if we don't do anything stupid like deleting stuff. No, we don't. We load all NPC, we exit, we return the char list with this character data. I think we have our character data list, which will have the Dermorian character here. If we go back and check our skills, wow, there's a lot of stuff in this NPC. The skills are here. Let's just double check. Our info is still valid. I still see sword, calculate skill cost. You know, I see all the information on the skill. So is correct. Melee. So up to here is fine. So then what is messing up here? What is messing up? For each NPC found and spawnable, call entity manager to create a new gen NPC and sponsor. New gen NPC and sponsor. Okay. I hope this is not the one fucking up our data. Wait a second. So we spawn. Wait a second. So this char data list, it gets destroyed because the data, it gets added to the entity manager. I think that is where we do the mess. Because we delete the character list from delete character list. We delete the character list here. The point is we should still have our APS character. That's tough to know. Yeah, I try to do. Thank you for that. I try to go through the tough process of what I'm doing. You know, so trying to think aloud as much as I can, so you can at least follow. I mean, this part is a bit boring, I have to say, because it's mostly code. You know, it's mostly C++ code, so it's a bit annoying. Why the lady is in the middle of the ground? Just because at the moment our coordinate system is not matching with the old plane shift coordinate system, and so the fact that she's on the ground is just because I had to assign a kind of a random location to her. So, but yes, it's known, and no, it's not causing any issue about this. It's not causing any issue about this. Now, what we have to understand here, is one thing. We load our characters in the create NPC. I think this is where we mess up, boys. I think this is where we mess up, because we load all the data, right? We load all the data, then we create a new APS character, right? We create a new APS character which is basically derived from the Unreal character. We load data into it. Wait a second, I have to understand this. Load NPC data, NPC count, yes. Then we spawn the actor, right? Then we spawn the actor. And what we do? We spawn the actor. We spawn the APS character in the world. But what data are we loading into it? That's the point. What data are we loading into this character? You know, because you see, we are having this char list. We assign the APS character to it. So we say, okay, our APS character in this char list. This char list actually, I think it leaves only. It lives only in this loader, right? This char list to get destroyed after. I mean, it just lives there. Yes, for sure. For sure, it just lives there. So we are creating this character. We are spawning it, and then we are loading data into it. And this is where we do all the things that we were looking before. We load the description. We load the creation info. blah blah blah, and here is where probably we load also the skills, which is just what we debug now, or not. Why is no breakpoint? Is it the same place? I think there's another place. This is where probably when we spawn it into the world. No, wait. We just spawned it, so it must be here. It must be here. Repopulate live. Let me put a breakpoint here, but I think let's move on a second. I just want to see what happens. So we loaded our NPC and we have it loaded. You see this printout? We loaded the NPC and we have it server side at least. We have a server side at least. Now when we what is my I think there are two places actually. There is one, strangely we have two places where we load the skills. I don't think so. But if I look at these load skills, no, let's do it in a normal way. Let's do it, go to definition. Yeah, this is where I was having all my, you see, all my breakpoints. So for some reason now this character is loaded. He has his data, but the information about the skills is somehow corrupted. I don't know why. Like it's no more associated to this APS character like it was before. It's pretty weird. So like if I launch the client, and I try to inspect the skill structure, the skill structure is not good. I mean it's good up to the level of the main skills, but not the info part. So like I think I'm deleting some pointers during the loading or something. I think it's an annoying thing, but let me see. It will not be an easy one to find, I think. So I'm expecting here to click on her. Okay. Apart from the fact that it crashes, but unless I mess up something before, let me see, some character description. Calculate comparable thing is. Now let's go one step before this. So let's try to check, for example. Yeah, it was here, right? It was exactly here. We were checking before, yes. And here the skills, for some reason, are not good anymore. So if I'm inside user manager, well, we have my character and we have her character. There's two variables. My character data is my player, and their character data is the lady. So let's see if my skills are okay. So you have 69 skills. The info is completely fucked up. You see? The info is completely fucked up. Also on my character. So it's exactly the same. And on her character, the skills are the skills are okay on her, but are bad on me. Aha, we found something here. We found something. You see? The skills are fine. Heavy armor, 80, 60 is all valid values. So they are bad on me. They are bad on me. So when I load the NPC, I load it properly. When I load my hero, for some reason we are not loading it properly. That's the thing. Okay. We find out something. we find out something. So we have to understand when we load our character. When we load our character, how do we load it? Good question. So starting from the beginning, when do we load our character in? We load our character in when we are selecting the character on the characters list, right? So what is that? So I'm a bit lost here because that piece was not done by me, was done by Ravna, and so I don't know exactly where is that, but I'm pretty sure we can find it because there is not much code client side yet. So I think. So let me check one other thing. Let me check what is valid on my character. Is any data of my character valid or is completely fucked up? My character data. Do I even have a name? I have a name which is crank character 0, but it is the one that Unreal gives me. I have a mesh, okay, but I don't really care about this. No, I want to know. I want to know. Okay, the skills are fucked. The guild info is completely empty. The modifiers seems to be completely empty. The body manager, the quest manager, I mean everything seems to be empty, completely empty. So I think I'm not loading anything of this character. Inventory seems to have something. Inventory seems to have one item. Oh, it's all zero. You see, it's all zero. Are we loading anything except the race for our character when we are loading the character in? I don't think we are. I mean, there is nothing here. There is not even the name. Where is the name? What is the name of the character? Name and last name. You see, they're both empty. Yeah, there is freaking nothing. Let me check the lady name. The lady name is loaded in, you see? Mailing. Yeah, the name is okay. So I think that the NPC part that I loaded with this function is loading their data properly. The character loader is not working as expected, or anyway, is not working at all. I think that at the moment we are just loading in the hero. I mean, like you select the mesh. I mean, if it's a cran or an elf or whatever, and then we don't really load any data into it at the moment because we didn't do it yet. Just because we didn't do it yet. But it's a piece that I didn't do, so that's why I have no big clue of. I think we can remove all these breakpoints, or we can anyway disable them. Debug. the little breakpoints. Yes. Well, anyway, no, I don't want to delete the breakpoints, but so I think what happens when I'm in this page. When I'm in this page, I'm accessing, and when I click on, you see, I'm accessing the names of the hero, and accessing the account and just listing the characters he has in his account. In this case, he has four characters, right, with these names. So I think this we do properly, and we can check maybe from the editor how we do this check. I think it's just a message going client server, but it's just sending the list of characters. But then I think that when we load in the world, we are not actually loading any data for the character. I think we are not doing it yet. Let me check. Let me see if I can start also the editor at the same time. I think I can. I will try to stream every night if I can. Okay, I will try to stream every evening. Depends a bit of my work, but if I can, I will stream every evening, so you can follow the progress. Will take quite a bit anyway. It is not something we're gonna do in a few weeks. So let's open up the character creation screen. So character creation, race, no, character, what is it, character selection. I think it's this one, right? Yes, character selection widget. So there is the widget where we select our characters and then we click on play at the bottom. So here is where we do the account thingy. So you see that if there is already a character in the podium, remove it first. Find character class. I want to see where. I want to see spawn character on podium. I want to know where is going to the server and searching for the list of existing characters. Okay, it's probably here somewhere. Clear existing entry. Set focus and store reference to our controller. Play button. Okay. Request chart list from server. There it is. There it is. So the point here is, what do I want to have client side in terms of character information, and what do I want to have server side? If that's even a question, right? No, I'm saying this because things are automatically replicated client and server in Unreal, and so I think that if we load something on one side, it will arrive on the other side as well. So let's see. Request a chart list from the server. So what do we do here? We go through a loop, get actor of a class, request character list. There is probably a server function. The result of this. What is the result of this? If length is not 0, we already have a list. For example, we're returning from a character creation. If nothing was changed, we don't get another notifier, so we'll call this function manually. Check broken, blah, 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 blah. Character list has changed. So at a certain point, I should get my character list, right? Which is here. So I get my character list, which is an array of character list structures. I go here and then I trigger character select list as changed. Character select list as changed. Where is this thingy? Character select list as changed. It should be here somewhere, right? I mean, it should be in this graph, right? It just is an event. Is an event. So event graphs. Event graphs. Add item to chart list. Add item to chart list. Okay. So we create this, we break the character structure, we get the character name. So you see what we have here is basically the character name. We have the character name in the ID. Okay, so we set the text for the character name. We set the chart list entry. We add a child, okay, which basically is adding one line into the box. Adding one line into the box, and then that's it. It looks like that's it. So we're getting, yes, we're getting this list from the server, and we are populating this thing. Now, when we click on play, what do we do when we click on play? When we click on play, we click play button, branch. Okay, oh, it just checks that if something is selected or nothing is selected. So if one character is selected, server request character. You see, this is where we are requesting the server request character, which gives if owning client target client character ID, destroy actor, set input game and UI, remove from parent. So it's just, so here is destroying basically the character we have in the podium, which is the character that is standing, you know, standing still, because this is not the one that we are going to use, right? This is not the one we're going to use. I just struggle a bit to understand where he knows that we have selected that particular character, but probably it's just using this selected character list entry again somewhere else. This is probably what it does. This is probably what it does. I have this feeling that, okay, the spawn chart on podium is fine, delete character and play button. Now when we click on play, at the end we should enter the game, right? Remove from parent, destroy actor, get controller. How do we teleport the hero in the right spot? Unless we are doing this inside this server request character. Let me let me go check. So the server request character is actually a C++ method, which I think is inside here somewhere. Implementation. It should be inside controller, no? Target is pre-game helper. No, it's inside pre-game helper. Pre-game helper. I think I never touched this class. It is something that was created by Ravna. I think I never touched this class. Server character request implementation. Okay. Server request character. So obtain the proper character class, obtain the desired spawn point. Yes, it's searching for a player start, and it's searching the player start from the game. There is this idler spawn, and it's getting it from here. Then what it's doing is is actually spawning the character. Cast character word spawn actor. Yes, we're spawning it. It's spawning it. He's spawning it and is associating the pawn to the player controller. Right. The problem is that here, exactly here, is where the mess starts. Because, well, not the mess, but is where we are basically having no data loaded for our character. We have no data loaded for our character. Because this is just a mesh. It's just a simple character. So there is no way. So what we have to do, but I think it has to be for another day because now it's getting late. But what we have to do is to ensure that when we are loading in our character, it could be here. We are requesting the character and we are spawning the actor. Exactly here we are also spawning the actor with this thing. It's not sad, but I mean it's not something that it says, but here if I can have a comment, can I have a comment like no? Can't have a comment just on this one like this. It's a bit weird, but maybe I can. Yeah, it's a bit weird, but this is how we will do. This one is actually spawning the character spawn, right? Or character, how you want to call it, but anyway, the player spawn. So the spawn the player. So it is actually spawning the player spawn in game, given the start location. Given start location. So this is what is happening here. The problem is that this piece of code is not in any way using our database data, our database information, and everything else. So what we should do here, we should. Are we server side here or client side? I have no idea. Target is pregame mail, but I think we are client side here. But it's reliable, replicated to the server if only client. So it could be replicated automatically. What we should do here is to I don't know what we should do, but I mean, I know and I don't know. We should load. We should do exactly like the old PlanShift is doing, which is to create a new APS character with all the information. So we should actually load in the data. We are not loading in any data here. We are just not loading in anything yet. So maybe I can leave it as this piece. Maybe I can leave it as this, but then just here after this point, I would like to get the character, and I think here we should do something like calling our our character loader and load in our character. So I'm just thinking how to do it, but I think we should the same way, exactly the same way we were loading with this character loader, right? Exactly the same way we did it for the lady, we should do it for the player, because at the end NPCs and players are identical for us, at least in the loading, from the loading perspective. There is no difference. Then they can do different things, but the traits and inventory system and everything is exactly identical. So I don't know, I think I should do it another day. I can do it now, but yeah. So let's add a fix me. I think here we should ask the server to load the information of the character based on the data on the database. Yes. So name, skills. Well, name we kind of have, but I mean the name is not the point. So the name is like skills, inventory, and blah blah blah. So it should be accessible to. So it should, let's say inventory as an APS character associated to the phone. The problem is that I don't know exactly how to do this, but we will sort it out. But here is where, let's say, the Unreal Engine is touching the database, right? From the player perspective. From the NPC, we already did it, so we spawn in that lady and we load all the data, and we just after the spawn actor. So how we do it is that after spawn actor in the character loader, if I search spawn actor, which is here, right? I spawn the actor, I cast it to APS character, and because I'm actually spawning an APS character specific, and then after this I'm going to load all the data. You see this load? It is loading all the data inside the Unreal object, inside my APS character, right? So that is what doing the magic. Now for our player, we are not doing this. We are doing nothing after having it spawned. So I would say even more. I would say check psCharacter loader.cpp line 173 line. What? I didn't say that. Crap. Check psCharacter. Maybe it's too long. Character loader 173. And 75. Right? So I think if we do a call here, pass in the character, ask him to load the data based on the ID, because anyway we have the character ID, and we just call a load function similar to this one, which just populates all the data inside the APS character. Then I think we should be fine. It's just a matter of adding this thing here. Yes. Hello, whoever joined. Welcome to the stream. But I think I'm kind of closing for the night because it's 1 a.m. and yeah, I really have to go. I think we did good progress overall. We managed to fix many of the background classes. We managed to understand also a bit how this initialization screen, this characterization screen works, and the fact that at the moment it doesn't have a connection with the database apart from getting the list of characters. And so what we have to do, we have to after we do this server request character, which actually spawns the player as well, we should return, I think we should return an APS character and then load all the data using exactly the same function we already have available. So the functions are available, it's just a matter of calling them, and then we will have our APS character fully loaded with data, which will include skills and inventory and everything, and then we can finally compare our strength with another NPC and get a description. So I think that is what we should do. Okay, cool. I think that's it. I think I will close everything here. I need to stop the server, otherwise the editor cannot save some assets. You see that he's complaining that some assets are used. This is because the server is using them, but now that I close the server, it's properly saving them. I think another thing we should do, we should check in SBN what we have, because anyway it's stable, so I don't think it's a problem. So we can just commit, we commit, controller is okay, client startup map, I didn't touch it really, but client startup map, I didn't touch it, I just clicked a few things, so I don't think we want it. We could even revert this. Also the main map, I don't think we want this. Can I revert these things? I don't want to have this changed actually. The character select, yes. The character interact, yes. This we don't need. This one, I think we did some changes. What changes did we do? Yes, we fixed this, which was actually a bug, so it's fine. This one, we did some changes. We enable. We have this test function. This test function, I think, can go away. I don't think we need it. I don't think we need it. So this one goes away. It should be identical. Yes. Player controller base. These one are identical, so I can remove this. User manager, or I can revert. It's the same. User manager, what do we do with this user manager? What did we do? Yes, we just remove the cache manager so it's not messing up. Anything else? We added messages, which is now is needed, which holds our. So this one we should add. Exactly. This one we should definitely add, and that's it. So what we did, we added. How is it called? This thing. It's called FPS character detail message. So we had the FPS character detail message, which is used to get the description of an NPC, from server to client. No, from well, anyway, from the server. And we also started to fix, because it's not fully working, started to fix the code which creates the description. What is missing? So we need to, I think it's okay. I think it's okay. 6 files. Okay, boys, I think that's all for today. So thanks for watching. I think I will be able to stream tomorrow evening, hopefully. I think I will be able to stream tomorrow evening. It will depend a bit on few things, but I think it's very likely. So I will try to keep the rhythm up. So, and if you join in, you are helping me, because anyway, if I see some people that are watching, it makes me, motivates me a bit. So if you join, it would be nice. We can go together through this thing of fixing the engine. So thanks for watching and have a good night. GG!